What is up, guys? Welcome to another video. That Geeky guy here, and today I'll be giving an overview of the new upcoming set Uprising. So Uprising is the latest set from Flesh and Blood TCG, and it is one of the main sets. So what do I mean by main sets? So the main sets we have so far is Welcome to Wrath, Arcane Rising, Monarch, and the other two will be the supplementary set, such as Crucible of War and Everfest. So main set would be where the different aspects of the game are expanded. In this case, it's introducing three main heroes. So what are the heroes? Draconic Ninja, Draconic Illusionist, and also Elemental Wizard, in which case is an Ice Wizard. So Draconic Ninja, starting out with Draconic Ninja, let's just go through each of these heroes and what they really do and what their classes focus on. So Ninja is one of the existing classes introduced back in the Welcome of Wrath with Katsu. So Fi actually took this going wide mechanic a step further by introducing a new keyword called Rupture. So Rupture is actually something unique to Draconic, and it is a keyword introduced in Uprising. So it is the latest keyword. For example, the keyword Temper was first introduced back in Crucible of War. Similarly, Rupture is something that was introduced in Uprising. So what does Rupture means? So whenever you reach the chain link 4 or more, you basically get to activate one of the effects. For example, a card called Breakpoint. So Breakpoint is a Draconic attack action. What it does, if it gets ruptured or if the rupture is activated, which means chaining 4 or above, if it hits, it destroys the card in your opponent's arsenal, which is an effect very similar to Command and Conquer. Definitely a good alternative in Draconic decks. Fi would love this because most of his attack action has a way of going again. Not only that, Fi also has access to the banish zone. Basically, after you reaching a certain condition, some of his attacks actually allows you to banish the cards from your hand, the top card, and basically different ways to banish card in order to have access to them, and then giving it either go again, nice hit effects, or even cost reduction. So Fi's objective is basically going as wide as possible, and you can see this by some of the channels out there actually proving Fi being a very powerful force in applying the OTK strategy. But there is also a more consistent kind of gameplay by applying consistent pressure to your opponent. It is also one of the most popular class being played in the Premier around the in Premier in Madrid and also Sydney, basically. So it's one of the more popular classes and proved to be very successful. However, that is the limited format. We have yet to see him in action in Blitz or Classic Constructed. Now moving on to the Draconic Illusionist or Dromai, which is basically the oldest, I believe is the older sister of Fi, which is very similar to Avatar The Last Airbender, but James White has clarified that he is not a fan, or he did not watch Avatar The Last Airbender, which is unfortunate because it is a great story. Anyways, back to Flesh and Blood TCG. So Dromai is the older sister of Fi, and they have some conflict, but they actually went to their separate ways. Now Dromai is one of the Empire's right-hand ladies of sorts. So she's a very powerful illusionist. She has access to invoking dragons, which is basically a fancy way of saying auras. So Prism has access to auras, Dromai has access to dragons. So she gets to invoke all these dragons with different powerful effects. Now, if we take a look at the class as an overview, we can definitely see Dromai is geared towards a more controlled playstyle. We talked about Fi. Fi is of course a more aggressive kind of playstyle. Dromai on the other hand is a more controlled type of playstyle, planning to actually set up the board, overwhelming the opponent. Now some of these dragons have very powerful effect. For example, take Tumultai, basically aiming your opponent's armor, trying to weaken them by attacking. So destroying all these dragons is going to be not an easy task with classes that doesn't have much sixes. So if you are playing a class with a bunch of sixes like Rhinar or Guardian, shouldn't be an issue for you because you can pop those dragons rather easily when they attack. The thing is, the weakness of Dromai is basically not being able to give her dragons go again or action point basically once they get popped. Prism solves this problem with Phantasmal Footstep. Unfortunately, that is not the case for Dromai. She has to look for her solution elsewhere, or she has to change up her playstyle. Now, if you look at Fi on the other hand, his weakness would be Frostbite. You can see that the deck itself is pretty tight with all the reds, but with enough blues, I'm sure that can be remedied. But on the Dromai side, on the other hand, it's going to be pretty hard without the access to Footsteps, because Footsteps only work for auras. Dragons are allies. So it will be interesting to see how the deck build goes moving forward. Now, if you go to another point here, which is the final hero, Icelander. Icelander, I feel like is being a bit of a left out in all this conversation, because everyone is focusing so much on Fi with his aggressive playstyle, with his wide going chain, which is OTK potential, and Dromai with her cool looking dragon allies and stuff. Icelander seems to be forgotten because she was already released in Everfest, a younger version of herself. That's why people are looking to be less excited, but beware, I think Icelander definitely has potential when going against all these really aggro red decks. Icelander with the ability of dealing arcane damage, which is already very annoying. Wizards known to be does really well in all this limited format, especially in Blitz. Kano is king. So Icelander on the other hand is going to be focusing more on dealing arcane damage, slowly chipping away on your opponent's health while disrupting them with a bunch of frostbites. So definitely a playstyle we have seen before, with some of the Islanders actually taking some wins in the last season's skirmish. So that's pretty much it, guys. That's the summary of all the heroes that we have. Now, if you guys want to know more about the cards that are in the card pool, you can actually go into FAB TCG's main website, go under the gallery, check out the cards that has been released. Of course, there are some empty slots to be filled up, but that will be filled in once you actually have access to the boxes and everyone start cracking. We're gonna see all the cards that has potential being put into these decks. So thank you very much for watching. That's a quick overview of Uprising. I'm very excited for this set. Definitely like, subscribe, check out my Patreon. I do have a Patreon. Thank you very much to all the Patrons. They're gonna pop up somewhere here, right here now. So these are my supporters. Thank you very much, guys. Really appreciate you guys. Motivate me to keep doing what I do, and definitely like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you know when I upload. Trying out something new. Definitely moving forward, you're gonna see more deck tags from me. Definitely for Fi, I love Ninja. Ninja has always been my mainstay, and he's here to stay. So that's it, guys. See you guys in the next one.